They might remember. You ready? All right, we'd like to welcome everybody out to tonight's Herriman City Planning Commission meeting for this Wednesday, October 4th. We appreciate everybody being here tonight. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Lauren for us. Come on forward.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lauren. Don't sit down too long. We do have a full quorum tonight. We appreciate everybody being here. We'd like to ask if there's any conflicts of interest with the two items tonight from anyone here. Seeing none, we do have item 3.4, which is approval of minutes for, we have 4 different meetings, July 19th, August 2nd, August 16th, and September 6th. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve item 3.4.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Heather and a second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, those are approved. We'll move on to item 4.1, which is consideration of a subdivision plat amendment for the village at the Boulder subdivision, phase 3. And we'll turn time over to Lauren for this one.
Hi, everyone. All right, so we're going to be looking at a subdivision in Boulders. It's down off of Mountain View Corridor on the east side of our city. This is the site map. The blue is on the building that we're looking at. In total, it's 0.84 acres, and it's a mixed-use type zone. This is what they are looking to do, so just splitting that building into 4 different parcels. And we recommend approval.
Any questions for Lauren on that one? All right, do we have the applicant here? If there's an opportunity, if the applicant, I don't know if they're here and would like to speak to us? No? Okay. Michael, did you have something you wanted to say?
A comment maybe after your motion.
Okay. All right. Any discussion on item 4.1?
Well, I move to approve
Looks
item
good.
4.1.
All right, we have a motion by Adam.
I'll second.
We have a second by Brody. We'll do a roll call vote. Brody.
Yes.
Preston.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Daryl.
Yes.
Adam.
Yes.
Andrea.
Yes.
And that motion passes, 4.1. Michael, did you have a comment?
I'm sure I'm just stating the obvious, but one of the benefits of this type of amendment that you just approved is it really does encourage the opportunity for owner-occupied housing. Yeah. Clearly, when this property was initially purchased, it was viewed as an investment property that would be rented. Certainly nothing wrong with that at all. And there's no guarantee that as these properties are subdivided that they will automatically become owner-occupied. But it does facilitate the opportunity that they are owner-occupied. And so I think as a public policy position, I think this type of amendment in our subdivisions is actually healthy for our community. Obviously, home ownership is one of the most significant elements of building personal wealth in this community, in this country, and also generational wealth has been demonstrated that that is a key element to improving upward social mobility in our country. So thank you for doing that.
Yep. No, very well. Thank you, Michael. Okay, we'll move on to item 4.2, which is a consideration of amendment or amended conditional use for the Lifestone Church. Sheldon.
All right. As mentioned, this is amendment to an item you saw back in November of 2022. It's for Lifestone Church. It's located off of Herriman Boulevard. There's a vicinity map. Like I say, the overlay here, this isn't the correct overlay of what they're proposing. This is the original site plan, just to add some clarification there. So what they're proposing to do is they're decreasing the size of the building, reducing some of the classroom sizes, and increasing the seating capacity of the stadium. They're also increasing the height of the building by about 5 feet. With the reduction of the classrooms and in the auditorium and stuff like that, and the reduction in the square footage, about 1,000 square feet. They did reduce their parking requirements, and therefore they are still meeting those requirements. Again, the building overall is about 14,000 square feet, 28 feet tall, break-in fiberboard siding, and about half the site's going to be landscaped. Few issues of consideration were traffic patterns. You know, as previously proposed in the original approval, they do have a queuing program for drop-off and pickup of students and et cetera. And another concern we have is just the dilapidated fence on the west side of the property. It's a 3-row fence that needs to be repaired. Again, here's the overall site plan. You can kind of see the building's now more square as opposed to rectangular. It's pushed more towards the street frontage there. In return, it's increasing the actual setbacks from the neighboring residential properties. Again, you know, it's more beneficial, you know, to increase that buffer as well. Parking again, they're providing sufficient parking for both uses that are proposed for this site. We have two sections for ingress and egress. That's on the east and west sides.
So you did say that the parking now is sufficient, even though they're being reduced, it still meets the
That is
requirements?
reduced. And we
Okay,
actually had them
perfect.
remove some additional parking that we felt was not easily accessible.
Okay. Oh, that's right, I remember that discussion. Yeah, there was some, yep, very good.
Again, here's the elevations of the building here. They do beat city requirements for design standards. That being said, we do recommend approval with these following conditions. Again, engineering did have some concerns regarding the spillway, the detention basin. That'll be resolved as well through the engineering review process. And again, we just need to see a little better landscape plan for the detention pond.
And just for the record, again, these are kind of a summary of the conditions that are in your packet. So if you were to make a motion, if you would refer to the conditions as enumerated in the staff report. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
good. Any
any
questions
questions for
for
me?
Sheldon? Yeah. Okay,
All right.
thank you,
The
appreciate
applicants are
that.
here, so if you have any questions for them.
Great, yeah, we'll go ahead and allow the applicant to come forward, and feel free to present any additional information that you'd like for us to be aware of.
Hey, good evening. My name's Cody Williams. I'm the civil project engineer for the Lifestone building. I'm also a board member at Lifestone Church. And we've kind of taken a break since last November, since we got initial approval. And we've partnered with a new preschool that's here local in Utah, in South Jordan. And they'll be moving to Herriman, to this new location. This past week, we're excited to announce we signed a lease agreement with them to open up in September of next year. So we're under a very tight construction deadline to get that built by sometime August next year. So yeah, if any other questions for me, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions for the applicant?
More just on and maybe if somebody can take us to the plan that shows the overall, I remember talking about just pedestrian flow through the parking lot, and I noticed that the sidewalk stops about halfway along.
Can we get to the map? Is there, somebody can help us
I was
get
just
there?
curious why it doesn't go the whole length. That was my only question.
This one here.
Yeah, so
Stops
the
the dumpsters.
So we already, last time we had asked for a reduced setback along the south border of the property. So with we're already taking advantage of the city's reduced setback along the frontage of Herriman Boulevard, where we have a 15-foot setback. Normally that's 20 feet. And we've reduced that down to 15 feet and put a 3-to-1 landscape berm in that area.
Okay.
And essentially with the amount of parking that we have through there, we're just out of space. There's not even room for a 4-foot sidewalk to keep the parking as it currently is aligned and continue it further. You can kind of see where the property kind of skinnies up. That's where the issue with at least bringing a sidewalk further to
So there's a grading issue with that 12 feet then, that's
see.
there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or discussions? Like the connection to the path as well, that's nice. People using the path can,
Oh, yes, yeah.
Easy access
Yep,
there, too.
Yeah, we made a
Yeah.
emergency access path and just any use for the church
Yeah.
and the preschool to make their way to the walking path.
yep, nice. Okay. Any other thoughts, questions?
Good location. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Well
thank
done.
you.
Any discussion by planning commission? Or a motion?
One of the comments was a spillway out to the right-of-way.
From the detention basin,
Yeah.
so go to flow
Is that
north.
what, from the detention basin?
Yeah,
So the overflow would spill out into the curb and gutter?
correct. That's my understanding. I don't know if
Is that-
Sheldon,
is that how it
I see a head shaking yes as well, so, okay. I'll entertain a motion if there's no comments.
I'll make a motion, but Michael, you have to remind me what you just said about the,
Just refer to the conditions in the staff report versus the PowerPoint presentation.
I'll recommend approval of item 4.2 relative to the staff report, the items within the staff report.
All right, we have a motion by Daryl
I'll second.
and a second by Heather. We'll call for a vote. We'll begin with Andrea.
Yes.
Adam.
Yes.
Daryl.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Preston.
Yes.
Brody.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That motion passes. Welcome. Can't wait to see the final results, so awesome. Thank you. All right, we do not have any legislative items tonight, so we'll just, is there any comments? We'll move on to item 6. Any comments by the commission this time? Okay, seeing none. We do have a city council meeting on October 11th. Our next planning commission meeting is on October 18th, and just to make a note of that, we will begin our work session for that October 18th meeting at 5, and we will begin with an on-site meeting before coming back to City Hall, for those of you that may be online or are curious, but that will be happening with that meeting. I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Heather, second? By Adam, sorry, I'm following the directions here. We got to have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.